To anyone that's ever claimed any type of thing that I did wrong to them, I apologize with all my heart. I promise you, you did stuff to me too, but that's...
Oh my God.
And that night after we hooked up, my body had to this is so gross. You probably don't want to hear this, but my body had the biggest release I've ever had in my life. I'm much more of contribution to the world than bad.
Here's what's going on. Here's the skinny. This is crazy. I did not see this coming. This is a sleeper goon moment. Kyle Cease came out of nowhere. Sleeper goon. We never think about Kyle Cease. Kyle Cease is actually a pretty great goon. He's psycho. And every time we cover him, it is more bizarre than the last time, particularly when it comes to this one subject, which is that he is, it turns out, a Me Too guy. He's been Me Too'd. Brendan Fraser won an Oscar for Me Tooing some Jewish Hollywood producer. Kyle Cease, he gets Me Too'd and he keeps getting to work. If you don't know who Kyle Cease is, he's a goon I've been covering now for maybe 7 years or something like that. He's a former stand-up comedian. If you saw him, you know who he is, okay? Go check out podawful.com. I don't know which episodes are free and which ones aren't. It's not about that. See whatever you can see over there. Podawful.com. Check out the Kyle Cease stuff, all right? We never talk about this guy until we do. Until we're forced to. Until something happens, and it's nuts. Kyle Cease is a former stand-up comedian. Kyle Cease has been accused of using a position of power over a lady. Now, this is the type of Me Tooing that's usually pretty shaky. Usually, guys like us, we're sitting around like, that's not a thing. Your boss asked you if you would suck his cock, and now you think that, and you did it, and he gave you a promotion, and now somehow you're not on even ground. I'm sorry, that sounds like a fair trade in my book. Usually we think that. But when it happens to Kyle Cease, we cease to think that. All right, so Kyle Cease, we made fun of his stand-up. We made fun of the fact that he became a guru. We have several goons who are these enlightenment coaches, gurus, life coaches. We never know what to call these people because they don't know what to call themselves. They never put too fine a point on what it is they do, because if they did, you would immediately dismiss them as human beings. You would say, oh, this is a scam. This is a pyramid scheme. All of these guys work in this bizarre, it's the Mersh effect. All of these guru guys work in a Mersh effect that's gurus all the way down. And Kyle Cease is one of the top guys in this pyramid scheme. He's the Mersh of the guru Mersh effect. Not kidding. And again, this is a dude where he's been in movies. He was Comedy Central's #1 stand-up comedian back in the day. Like back when you would watch Comedy Central and actually expect to see some good comedy. He was up there, man. And he wasn't that bad. He was known as Kid Comedy. Kyle Cease, all right? And then he becomes a guru. We make fun of his guru-dom. I just want you to have a basic understanding of this, because I don't have the stuff prepared to just go through here. But he becomes a guru. When all the comedians make fun of him, he becomes a guru. And this works out for him like crazy. The comedy stand-up boot camp he did, massive failure. This guru thing, he's raking in money. He does these live it's not a performance. He invites these people to this like getaway retreat thing where he does his whole guru act up on stage, and he brings people up on stage and he makes them cry about their dead grandma or something. It's like John Edward the psychic without the psychic part. And you have to pay a pretty penny to show up to these events. Kyle Cease's event, Evolving Out Loud, is what he calls it. You show up there with your light bulbs, you've paid minimum $500 to do that. It's probably more. Now, on this show, we've exposed his scams. We called it Cease Scams. It was a hashtag. We've exposed his scams before. We exposed his Me Too guy status. I even interviewed a former cult member of his, because that's what it really is. These guru guys, like, you know, we joke about having a cult here at Pod Awful. We joke about it. It's a complete joke. If the feds are watching, it's a joke. But these dudes really have a cult around them. And I interviewed one of his former cult members, this guy who's by the way, also a former stand-up comedian, this guy Robert. And he'd been out of it for a long time at this point, and he's still completely brainwashed by the whole thing. I think that's the name of the episode, is Brainwashed. And it's a great episode. It's crazy. Now, this was even after the Me Too stuff. We've done a lot of stuff with Kyle. But what you need to know more than anything when it comes to Kyle is after his Me Tooing, this woman comes out and says he used his position of power over her. He cheated on his wife with her. He made her think that she was going to be his new, one and only. And he used his position as her guru to sleep with her. And he's been doing this with multiple other women, which is classic cult stuff. We've all been there. So Kyle freaks out because half of his team rebels against him. There's a mutiny. They leave him. Actually, I think it was more than half. I think most of his team left him over this. He doesn't know what to do. And this thing is buku cash cow for Kyle. Kyle is making bank off of this, and his world is collapsing around him before his eyes. And now Pod Awful's on top of that. And you might not think it, but Kyle knows what Pod Awful is. When we made fun of him the first time, Kyle caught wind of Pod Awful. And that was like a couple of years ahead of this. So Kyle does not want to see Pod Awful rearing its ugly head. Pod Awful's watching you. So don't go on the internet tomorrow. So Kyle is unhappy with this development. Kyle is really upset that we cover the Me Tooing. Kyle tries to copyright strike my video about it down. He tries to take it off the internet. Why did he do this? Because he released in his, I don't know if it's a paywall, but in his program that he does for his guru people, for his enlightenment people, he would do these live streams for them. Every Wednesday, they do one. Now, I didn't leak his stuff, but he did this stream where he admitted to all of his crimes. And this stream is psycho. Again, I'm telling you, he's a sleeper goon. It's a hit. The stuff that Kyle does, it is bananas. This video is unwatchable nearly. He's constantly on the verge of tears to the point that his face starts contorting. He starts going, this is not a joke. Anyone who's seen this video or seen the episode will tell you this. And Kyle is very upset that we've exposed this video. So he takes down my video talking about this. He copyright claims it. Now, if you've paid attention to the Pod Awful lore, you'll remember, and I've said this many times, when my channel actually got terminated, it had technically already been terminated for 1 year. Here's what happened. They terminate my channel. Kyle Cease gets his hit in. It's a Kyle Cease job. They terminate the channel. I get the email. It says, you are terminated, which is no good. I take a look at the email. I go, what can I do? How do I appeal this? I go to the channel. The channel's still there. Now, I'm 100% terminated according to YouTube, but the channel is not gone. And this Friday happens to be the day where Google announced that all of its employees now work from home. They're not coming in anymore, thanks to the kahuna virus. So I was in this bizarre limbo state the entire time. I was double terminated. YouTube said, you're terminated, And the employee who was supposed to hit the terminate button had already fucked off for the day. I didn't know this was possible. It happened. For nearly 1 year, I was terminated, but I could do whatever I wanted on my account. I could upload, I could stream. The channel never went away. The strikes actually went away at a certain point. They never took back the strikes. It's just like naturally in YouTube system, if you don't know this, they remove strikes. And those went away after 3 months or whatever it is, they went away. And I knew the whole time, like, this is bad. Something's going to happen at some point and it's all going to go away. And then Tom Gully showed up and now that channel's gone forever, right? So Kyle Cease got me with that one, but I still had the channel. So I go on to the YouTube channel and I go, okay, here's the video Kyle Cease doesn't want you to see. And I play it and I commentate over it. It's fair use. He can't strike me down again. What's he going to do? Terminate me twice? They already didn't do it. Here's the video. I upload it to BitChute and probably a few other places. And I tell everyone in the audience, take this video, title it, "This is the video Kyle Cease does not want you to see. Hashtag me too." And repost it to YouTube for me. Make him work for it. And I guess at that point, Kyle Cease knew he was beat. And he had too many other problems on his plate at that point. And Kyle gives up. He's in the middle of a Me Too. He can't be worrying too much about this. Now, it actually got worse for Kyle. And this is where things get really bad. And this is where you know that Kyle Cease is now no longer like, he no longer considers me this annoyance in his life. He's no longer just a goon of this show. We are now officially enemies.
Let's go, Felted, etc.
But the worst of all, the one that really got him, the World War episode we did. It's called World War II Brother Wars. Kyle Cease's own brother contacted me and said, I've got a story to tell and I want to tell it on Pod Awful. And I said, let's go, Felted, etc. So let's effing go. I told him that was actually the moment that I invented the phrase, let's effing go. I was the first guy to ever say that. Let's go is a Pod Awful original. And also, this is the only show that rocks. His own brother turned on him and spilled beans inside this episode that it's like, it's unrecoverable. You will never be bros with your brother ever again after doing this. I'm Kyle Cease's worst enemy outside of the woman who Me Too'd him. And he said, fuck it, let's do it. Now, after he said, fuck it, let's do it, he said to me, don't put that on the show. And I went, brother, I mean, good luck to you and everything, but it's going in the show. I told him, listen, it's going to be behind a $20 paywall. I don't think you got too much to worry about. And he's telling me, you don't understand Kyle. He's in the pizza fund. This is true. He really told me this. He said Kyle is going to be, if he's not already, he's in the pizza fund. You don't understand how he works. He's a complete narcissist. He's a creep. He's a freak. And he's going to be in there. And he's going to be seeing everything I said. And I regret it. I now know I can't take it back. And I said, you're right. You can't take it back. And I went ahead with the show. It was already recorded. I had it. So, and by the way, that's a watch. If you're already in that level of the pizza fund and you haven't seen that one, go check that one out. That is a crazy one, especially when you get cease-pilled. But it was all leading to this moment, actually. Because now, here's what's happening. It's been quiet for years now with this whole thing. And Kyle Cease just moved on. He just Me Too movemented on. And nobody seems to care. And we went out there and we went into his videos. We went to the comments section. Of course, he deleted them all. But we went in there and we said, Kyle Cease is a Me Too guy. You guys got to stop watching him. And his followers are a literal cult. And they didn't stop. They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen to the women. They didn't believe all women. They believed instead the girliest man of all time, Kyle Cease. You're about to see this. And then all of a sudden, after years pass and everybody, it's just forgotten. And he's still making money. And he's now got a new entourage around him. Out of nowhere, yesterday, I get messages from a couple of people saying, you're not going to believe this. Out of nowhere, I was hit with a copyright strike, not a complaint, not a notice, a strike on the video that Kyle doesn't want you to see, the Me Too video. It's taken down. YouTube said it's gone. More than one person, different accounts, different people, all hit simultaneously out of nowhere. Now, this should have been a clue. This should have told us that something was going to happen. They're planning something, and they were. So I told him, counter notice it. Because if you do a counter notice, then he has to say he is officially submitting court documents to take you to court over this copyright thing. That this is going to be ruled on by a judge. That's the next step. Now, I'm telling a guy, and I knew this saying this, I'm telling a guy who hasn't even been a part of the pod awful world for a little while now to possibly get sued over this. I don't think he's really going to do it, but I hope. So he says, okay, I said the video fell under fair use and served as an archive. I hope he sues me so something interesting finally happens to me. Now, I have the video. The video you're not supposed to see. Again, it's still up on YouTube. Not all of them were hit. If I play this, Kyle is going to try to take down not just my video, but this entire channel. This will be the 7th channel I've lost, if that's the case. Something like that. I don't even know anymore. So should I play it? Is it a good idea to play it? I feel like you have to have at least some context of this video, because here's what happened. So what's the big plan? Why now? Why out of nowhere is he doing this? He's doing fine. His videos on YouTube are doing fine. He's got a huge YouTube channel. He's got a lot of people falling for his crap. He's brainwashed millions of dead-brained housewives and old women, stealing from old women, your grandma. And we tried to cease these scams. So what was the plan? Today, an 1.5 hour long video came out of Kyle giving his side of the Me Too. This is a thing he should have moved on from. This is a thing that he technically won. This shit has been eating him up for so long. And these videos that Pod Awful put out, that you, the henchmen, put out, these have been killing Kyle this whole time. So congratulations to the henchmen. It took years. It took years, but I told you this would pay off. I told you this would get him. He's been working up to this to give his whole side, and he needs this video gone from the internet to do that, because this video undoes everything he has to say. So today he does a live stream. It's 1.5 hours long. It's crazy. It's not quite as crazy as this old video that Kyle Cease does not want you to see. What I'm doing here is 100% fair use. This isn't archival purposes. This is news. This is commentary. This is satire. This is parody. I am absolutely allowed to play this video. That doesn't mean that Kyle's not going to play dirty on it. I'm only going to play a portion. It's 1 hour long. We can't play the whole thing. Most of it is creepily silent, but it has to be done. Kyle Cease doesn't get to bury the truth just because he buried Pod Awful's channel. This video, by the way, is still up, and you can still download it. You can still find it. Type in Kyle Cease into BitChute. You'll find it. Type in the right stuff. Type in Kyle Cease apologizes. Kyle Cease abusing women. Make sure you've got a copy of this. Check this out.
Hello, everybody. So honored that you're here tonight. I want to talk deeply and openly from my heart tonight. Let me tell you what was in my body and talk about what I'm learning through this. I know that my body was in.
All right, you hear that? So he's about to be on the verge of some very bizarre facial movements. Some tics are about to break through here because he's caught. It's bad.
And trauma when I read the accusations.
And he's got excuses. He's got some very bizarre excuses, but he's got them.
And I know that if I responded from a place of trauma, it wouldn't bring love to the table. There's a lot of pain and a definite other side to the story that I hadn't even had a chance to bring to the table.
Ooh, wait, did he do one just then? Let me watch that one more time. Let's watch that back real quick here. I think we just got our first official snort.
I had a lot of people have an opinion about this. There's still only two people who were there.
Me and Kyle.
And we both have different sides to the story.
Mine is true, yours is false. All right, do you see it? Again, this version of it, there are clearer versions of this video. Again, this is what we're left with. Maybe this is the reason he left it up, because this video is so compressed, you're not really seeing his horrifying facial tics.
I'm in a debate even if I want to say my side of the story, because I, first of all, just want to make sure that I'm in a place of love for this entire thing.
Okay, you see that? It's starting to happen. He leans forward. You get a little bit of a, but it's not just a sniffle. He's not just got sniffles. It is a Tourette style tic that's happening. There's actually a little bit of, there's some 24 karat AU gold going on in there as well.
I have autism. I can't help it.
Our events are called Evolving Out Loud.
Yeah, he's got Mersh's camera settings.
And the reason they're called that is because there is no part of me that sees me.
Kyle Cease actually exists in 420p.
As some reverend or some, therapist with all the answers. I see myself as someone who's doing these events too.
So I'll bring it back up on screen here.
I do these events live. And if you watch me on stage, you watch my inner child figure stuff out.
This is where it starts to disgust me.
If you watch me on stage, you watch my inner child figure stuff out.
But when he says that, the inner child shit, that's when I lose it. I can't, his excuse for potentially, maybe not extreme hugging a woman, let's call it. You can't say certain words on YouTube anymore. His excuse for that is that he's just a little boy at heart. Look at me, I've got a dimple. That's his thing. His whole thing, he's kid comedy. He thinks he's a little boy. And the sickest part of all of this is his sycophant cult members actually let him.
I know that we live in a world that says if a person's on stage, if a man is doing this, he's abusing his power. Let me tell you something. I never considered that.
I never considered myself a man. He's almost there.
Saw myself as someone in power.
I might need a better copy.
I see myself as opening my heart and showing you the biggest inner child that I can be.
It wasn't me, a grown man, who raped her, Your Honor. It was my inner child. And by the way, that is the perfect crime.
All of my intimacy, all of my open-heartedness.
No, thank you.
All of my freedom, every part of me.
Okay. That's what got you into this mess, Kyle. Keep those parts at bay. Ooh, there was a big one. Let's take a look at that real quick. Hang on. I don't know if he did the face or not, but there was definitely a snort.
All of my open-heartedness, all of my freedom, every part of me. To me, women have the power.
To me, women are bigger and stronger and have penises. To me, they do. In my life, they have power. Again, he now claims it wasn't his wife. He was living with a woman who's the mother of his child, and they were supposedly in love. Okay? While this is happening. But women have the power.
They're amazing. and beautiful and wonderful, and I want to connect with them, and I hope that they don't not like me, and I hope they don't shame me, and I hope that...
Okay, well, too bad. All right, let's do this. Let's cheat. Let's just skip ahead because the video gets creepy in a lot of ways here. He's probably snorting real hard somewhere in the middle here.
I want to make it better. I'm sure there are a lot of people hurting.
Watch this, watch. Oh my God, how? That's one frame difference. Boom, 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 boom. And then this happens. I'm just not going to say anything. You just have to deal with this the way we all did. The video's not frozen. The audio hasn't dropped out. That's right. He's feeling himself. It's just silent for this long. This isn't the only time in the stream he even does this. He's trying to make the glitches stop. This dude's wireframes, man. He's completely glitched. What a chode. He's coming.
Please receive that not only from me, but to allow yourself to release yourself from anyone who's ever hurt you.
But mostly you, right? I mean, anyone who's ever, but what about you? Because you're the kind of focus here. You're the story of the day.
I'm on this planet for one reason and one reason only: growth.
Well, okay, that's not the best word to say there, to be honest. Any other word probably would have been better than growth at that point. Okay, so this just keeps going. You get the idea. This is the video that Kyle Cease does not want you to see. We got to make it so everyone sees this video. Kyle sees it. Because now Kyle is doing a brand new stream. Here we are years later. The video quality has very much improved. And Kyle is finally addressing it publicly. Remember, that video wasn't public. Kyle's addressing it publicly. He wants you to know that he's got nothing to hide. And suddenly the story starts changing. Isn't it interesting that the day before he puts out this video, he removes his actual thoughts from the time? Now he's going to tell you what his thoughts were with rose-tinted glasses, with the help of hindsight. Here we go. An hour-and-a-half long response. Pod Awful is mentioned in this. Maybe not by name, but it's unmistakable. We do get Voldemorted. And the videos that everybody uploaded have been bothering him that whole time. He has no reason to make this, unless he's got some big move he's trying to make in his life and he needs this just gone from the internet and he thinks this is the way to do it. This is the worst way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're introducing Kyle Cease to the Streisand effect. Let's take a look. Okay.
Hey, everybody. So good to see you today. I'm emotional today.
Okay, off to a bad start. Audio is not great. I think that's about to clear up. He's already crying. Oh, you're emotional? Yeah, I bet you're about to reveal all your mistakes and crimes.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see all of you. Thank you so much for being here.
You know what? I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of sniffles, a lot of lip twitches. I think it's time to introduce you to a new feature of the Pod Awful Moonbase. Ladies and gentlemen, we've called for years the TV over my shoulder. We refer to it as the big board. Let's throw that up on the big board. Well, I have a surprise for you. This TV I bought as a joke to make fun of Mersh. This is not the big board. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the new Pod Awful big board. That's better. We should be able to see a little bit of this going on now. Let's take a look at what Kyle's got to say, shall we? Ooh, he's deep in thought.
I am in some kind of final stages.
Okay, not a great way to start things off, gotta be honest. Holy fuck, LMAO, holy shit, dear God, fuck yes, shit, holy shit, whoa, nice. People are enjoying the Pod Awful big board. Okay, thank you very much. H2BH, welcome to the big board.
Saying goodbye to an inner child. I am in some kind of final stages of saying goodbye to an inner child.
Okay, great. So we're not going to use the excuse of that you were a little tiny boy when this happened, right? Because you are 48 years old or something like that.
That I've been holding on to, and I've just been on a hike and hearing God say,
take a hike. Hear God say, take a hike. He took it too literally, it sounds like.
You're free to release what you're holding on to. And
oh God, he wasn't talking about, you know.
Later today, my
intention,
my plan is to make a video of some really big stuff I went through that you guys don't know about.
Actually, we've got a pretty good idea about this stuff.
And I'm planning to do that today. Out of love, out of healing, out of feeling that I've
am I allowed to play
felt
this
a
one,
lot
by
of
the way?
shame in my body.
I'm probably going to get a copyright strike for this.
And it's like ready to go.
Oh, okay. It's only been 3 years. Took a while.
And
really worked up the courage on this one.
One of the things that I'll tell you right now that I've learned is the difference between the truth that everyone knows externally and the truth. And there's two truths. There's the truth of like, this happened and this happened and this is what you said and this, and it's
AKA
so small to me.
Actual truth, right?
And then there's the truth.
Oh, wait,
which is God.
Oh, okay. So,
and I've been put in some really challenging situations in my past.
You were put in them. You're the victim.
I really think it's important that you
guys. Kyle was victimized by these women. This is the claim. This is awesome. If it wasn't Kyle, I would be 100% on this guy's side. Yeah, actually, the women fucked my life up by doing this.
I will talk about the specifics of those later. But I'm really excited about how I spent the last 3 years with those things.
Okay, and we're just going to sit in silence again here, apparently.
To God.
God's not too happy.
This stuff is so big. Because I've never...
Oh, wow. I like that. In the chat, they say he did an inner child sacrifice.
I've never got to bring anything to light. And it's starting to come out now. But it needed to be heard by God versus being some kind of like,
what did you write him, a letter?
Defense or protection.
3
one of the things
years?
that I
Is
want
God
you to
in
know is that
prison?
The only truth isn't that everyone else gets it.
This is crazy.
It's that it's heard, like in your body. There's things you want someone else to hear, and that's in the way of you hearing it. And I've gone through being really attacked and falsely accused of shit in the past.
Oh, it was
And
fake.
no
So
one-
he apologized in the past for something that didn't happen. He was kidding. Why did the videos have to go down yesterday? Why were they hit simultaneously? Because he's now a false accusation victim. He apologized for these false accusations, but trust him. God, hey, listen, God's on his side. I don't remember him ever talking about God before, by the way. This God part is kind of a new wrinkle in the old dimple. It's a new dimple on the butthole head of this story.
What really happened? Even saying this is so huge. While there's still stuff to own, like no one knows what really happened. And like I've held it for 3 years. And I've had so much hate thrown at me. And I've had so many people not know and throw all their shit on me and not look at themselves and how they contributed to it.
It was you. Why didn't you think about me when I was me tooing you?
3 years ago, I almost killed myself 3 times.
I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
Oh my God, I have bonitis.
Kyle tried to take vitamin S all over Pod Awful's bullying. Now, everybody always asks me, Jesse, what would you do if that happened? And my answer is always, I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me.
I was on an overpass.
And? Yeah, I go over an overpass every time I drive. And? Overpass? I've never heard that one. Did he mean at Passover?
Going to an airport
Going to an airport.
because someone was just going to make something up about me.
What? Okay. This is getting a little crazier. So now the claim is he knew ahead of time that someone was going to false me to him. So he went to an airport to try to run away from it. And on his way, he said, nope, I have to dramatically girl myself out of this world. It's time for vitamin S. So I didn't see this part coming. Didn't think it got this serious, but at the same time, I kind of think it still didn't get this serious. And I'm pretty sure he said almost, so I think we're in the clear.
And I was so scared. I've had people my whole life not say a whole story. And I've done everything I could to both keep my business going and keep my truth going and keep everything going while going.
Yeah, listen, one of the most important things you can do when you're accused of something like this is keep your truth going. Unfortunately, Pod Awful was there every step of the
Inward
way.
and still facing what I needed to face. I almost jumped off a bridge.
He says it again, just in case you didn't catch it. Hey, guys, he almost jumped off a bridge. I mean...
And Mary called me. It just heard me. And didn't.
Mary. I didn't even notice. That's Mary Fast, the woman we were talking about. So the one who filed the copyright claims is the one who talked him down. And again, he was never up there. Walking across a bridge, it does not mean, like, that's not the same thing as almost.
And shame me or be mean to me. And I had a bunch of people that like said Kyle has borderline personality disorder and Kyle's a narcissist and Kyle's this horrible person. And I went to therapists and they were like, you're not.
Oh, okay. Wow. Clean bill of health, guys. He checked the logs. Everybody's saying I'm bad. So I talked to a guy. He said, nah, you're fine.
They were like, no one comes to us when they are. And I've been triangulated against.
What? Did Mersh have something you've been triangulated against? Bones to make us feel good. This guy's getting triangulated. Wait, how do you get triangulated against? What does that mean?
And there's a ton of stuff.
This man's getting triangulated. What does that mean? They had to search for you across every bridge in town? Check every overpass. He could be there thinking about it.
Me to own too.
We have to triangulate him.
But like, everything was the best I knew, you know? And there's something about this event or this time or whatever that like...
Did somebody say triangulate? He's talking to himself.
Whoa.
What? Yeah. Whoa. What is happening right now? Whoa. This dude... Are we watching a man get triangulated right now?
Whoa.
Okay. The Gooniverse keeps smashing into itself permanently. It's very bizarre. Whoa. I need to get that as a sound drop. Can somebody clip that? And here we go. Quiet time. Panicking. He can't open his eyes. He can't look us in the camera. Oh, his mealy mouth lips, those worms he has for lips. So disgusting. Method of murder, triangulation. His lips are like two grub worms trying to mate. He's triangulating.
Like, it was funny to me. I just heard this voice go, everybody take a deep breath. Like, it'd be so funny if I...
Oh, yeah, I'm not crazy. I talked to the doctor. I hear voices. The doctor said I'm not a narcissist. Would a narcissist go to the doctor and ask? He's talking to himself again. Ooh, did you see it? It's starting to happen. The Twitch is happening. He should actually be streaming this on Twitch. I think that platform was made for him. Watch the lip.
Be heard internally first.
There it is. It's like when you get a little piece of broccoli stuck in your teeth and you kind of move your lip over without. It's a whole lip action.
Because otherwise it's defense. Right? Like, defense is your side without you hearing it. It's you wanting other people's ego to hear it.
Like if you go to a therapist and ask him to tell you you're not a narcissist. Oh, God. And now we're back to this. He's looking for God to tell him the answer. This is his new thing. He actually, the John Edwards thing I said earlier, scrap that. He's psychic now. He's talking to God. This is new. He didn't do this before. I don't even know that he believed in God before.
It's so weird. I feel like I really feel like I just purged the whole thing. I'm sure more will come up, but
it doesn't sound good when you've got this blue Yeti hanging out in front of you. Listen, Kyle, you might feel that way, but what about the ladies who are involved?
I promise you I'll share everything as it comes up. But I went through a lot, but it just feels so irrelevant right now.
Yeah, it's been 3 years. Agree.
Just I'm noticing how much now is louder. I just noticed this, like, let me in. Don't worry about it for a second.
Oh.
One thing I feel like talking about is, I think this is the right thing to talk about, but empathetic energy holds for others what people did to them. and narcissistic
he has to build up the courage. That's what's really happening. That's why he was bawling, crying like the little baby he is.
energy holds what you did. I think this is what it was saying to me, is like, I feel in my body that in my past.
He's so boring his camera can't focus. Oop, there it was. Another lip movement. So he's about to lie. Here we go. Listen to this part. He's going to lie.
Was saying to me is like, I feel in my body that in my past.
There was. All right. So here we go. Lie time.
To avoid conflict, because I think truly, I think as a child, my inner child was severely beaten for something I didn't do.
Hang the fuck on. Stop the presses. Hold your horses. Did I just hear what I think I just heard? His inner child, when he was a child, got beaten. So you got imaginary beat. Number one, you don't have an inner child when you are a child.
I'm being accused of something I didn't do. And the intention is often spun. I've had it in the past where there were women in my life that we both liked each other, or we hooked up, or we dated, and then later it just slowly fizzled off, or we had a deep connection just as friends. And then I felt this narrative almost like when they became a woman that, I think I've heard this term, a woman scorned.
Wait, when they became a woman? So these were little kids? These were girls?
Spun what happened, spun the thing.
Wait, what kind of this is a crazy liar's move. Let's listen to that one more time.
Almost like when they became a woman that, I think I've heard this term, a woman scorned.
You think you've heard the term a woman scorned? You've heard the term. But he is now trying to act like he is such a not Me Too guy that he's never even heard terms about women.
I've had a lot of people tell me everything that's wrong with me, and they don't own what's wrong in them. I've had a spiritual speaker in my past orchestrate and triangulate against me.
What? Did he just learn this word? Triangulate. Is this your word of the day calendar? What is well, he didn't learn the word. He's using it wrong every time. Triangulate against you. What do you think that means? Next time he does it, like, all right, in 6 years, we're all going to meet back here at Pod Awful when Kyle Cease has had his next biggest freak out about his Me Too moment. And we've all uploaded our videos and he's striking them all down. And he's going to be like, everybody's after me. They're rectangulating me. He's going to go up one. Well, they're circling in. It feels like a woman scorned. You've never heard of woman scorned, but you've heard triangulate.
And they were things that he did.
Wait. So he's saying it was some other guy put this Me Too voodoo on him. He got hoodooed.
Like, I'm actually hearing for the first time out loud what actually happened.
Yeah, because you're making this up as you go along.
Because my goal has been for the world to see what happened. My hope was that the other side would confess. My hope was that, everyone else would say where they contributed.
You waited 3 years
hoping
closest
people in the
someone
world
else
in my
would
life
take the
just
heat.
say, here's what's wrong with you, Kyle, and not own anything on their side.
And here we go with Kyle not owning anything on his side.
So what I did was I would instantly own it. And my body would still hold the other side. Like, I would be like, I'm sorry about that, but what about and they'd be like, see, you're in defense. The amount of times I felt people that I was sitting there owning my shit, calling me a gaslighter or a narcissist. I know you know what I mean.
Okay. Number one, you're a man. Gaslighting's not real. There ain't no such thing as gaslighting, Kyle. No such thing. You don't get to use these terms because you heard a lady say them. I will never know. No, gaslighting's not real. 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 I just had to do it.
I'm freeing myself. I'm not even thinking of shit like that. You're not in that world, but the ones that are like collectively triangulating, oh, that's a narcissist.
Wait a second! Gaslighters are now triangulating him? Who all has triangulated him? The people trying to stop him from committing S. The guy, he got personally, singularly triangulated, which I don't even know how that's possible. Singularly triangulated by the guy who put that hoodoo on him. And now gaslighters are triangulating on him. But his mouth is really, the mealiness of the mouth, it's really starting to, you know what, let me just try this for a second here. I'm gonna call an audible here. Oop, a little too far. Yep, there it is. Oh God. And just really get in there. Yeah, that seems good.
Own your shit. I don't need to hold your shit anymore.
Oh, he's licking them lips, checking them twice.
I apologize for making the mistake of thinking that people who were safe to have a romantic connection with in the past were, and learning later they weren't, that they wanted money.
So now, okay. So now our Me Too lady, who I spoke to, by the way, who I have talked to about this supposed event, this alleged event between her and Kyle Cease. Now his claim is that she wanted cash. How do you even get money for secretly sleeping with Kyle Cease, who he's about to claim he's never even been married? How do you get money for that? There's no blackmail there then.
Sam, I own times where I was scared other people wouldn't understand. So I said, can we agree to be quiet about stuff?
He's admitting to doing hush money.
I apologize for
because I'm lying.
Asking for that and you agreeing for that. Can this be private? I apologize.
I apologize for paying you to keep this private. Yeah, I mean, good point. Okay, I can't keep looking at him this giantly. So we're going to kick it back over to the making fun of Mersh screen. The mocking Mersh TV. Okay, here we go. It's a little out of focus, though. We got to fix that. Let's kick it over there. We can put it back in a second if we have
for
to.
Asking for my sex life to be private. I apologize for that. And then I apologize with all my heart for that.
Okay, so now he's in deep thought, which means he must be finally considering, like, okay, I guess I have to actually talk about the topic.
I apologize for talking crap to a person privately about another speaker that I didn't feel safe with. And it turned out I was right.
Saying you didn't feel safe with somebody. You're a grown man. You didn't feel safe with somebody? Any day now, Kyle.
You know,
he's rehearsing it in his head. That's what he's doing. You can see his mouth moving. He's rehearsing the next thing he says in his head. Like, does this sound like anything? Is this going to work?
Think of what you just saw me cry out.
Oh my God.
That was in my body up until now.
Okay.
I got to tell you.
Oh, he just did the mouth thing. He said that, and I'm thinking, is he thinking about Scrum when he says something like that?
Hold that while holding spaces for you. But hearing God say.
See, we're back in girl talk here. Holding spaces and your ego and the. Me too. Let's talk me too.
It's not time. It's not time.
Okay. How about now?
It's not time.
How about now?
I'm fascinated by the idea that I said at the beginning of this month that March was going to be the biggest month of all. I didn't know I meant not only externally, but internally.
So he was planning this whole hit on everybody with the copyrights the whole time. He's lying now. He said he apparently announced that this is a big month for him. So he's planning something. Something must be coming. He must have gotten some sort of opportunity, and he needs to nip this thing in the bud. Maybe a lawyer told him that. Maybe some sort of, PR person or something. Somebody hiring him was like, hey, man, I Googled you. The cease scams thing? What is going on? You're a Me Too guy? What is that? Let's get rid of this. Sweep that under the rug. I'm sure whatever it is, I'm sure he'll plug it during his Me Too scandal. All right, he's triangulating. Triangulate.
In the past, I had connections with women that I established were also my friends, but they came originally as clients.
You got to come out right now.
I thought they were safe spaces.
Oh, and there's the tell. Somebody call William, because there it is. Look at this.
I thought they were safe spaces.
Oh, did you? You thought those were safe spaces, huh? Because your mouth says otherwise. Ladies, do you feel safe yet? Do that one more time.
I thought they were safe spaces.
Looks like it. That's a total no lies detected.
One of them and I had a long distance relationship, and this was at a time when I was single and I lived in an Airbnb.
What? One of them. So this has to be after the first Me Too girl then. If you're saying he was not single when the first Me Too girl happened, that was part of the whole story, is he was cheating on his girl.
In a different place. And this woman wanted me to go be with her kids and go be with her. And I had established with her that wasn't what I was doing. And that was the beginning of my new life.
He is now bragging that women want him.
Hooked up with her.
Women want him, fish fear him. Because he looks like one.
In November.
What the fuck is that? Oh my God, is that one of us? Or why is he up there on the land?
For 2019. I felt, for some reason, this is so personal, but while hooking up with her.
But I do mean hooking up.
I felt some bizarre ayahuasca-esque calling to another planet. And I somehow.
Okay. These people, nobody. Remember when you never heard of ayahuasca and how much better life was? Whatever fucking Mexican told white people about this shit, you have done the world one of the worst disservices of all time. Keep your little weird native drugs secrets, because this is who does them. It's guys like this. It's women like this. You had an ayahuasca experience inside your brain from Me Tooing a girl?
How feel?
That's like saying you had ASMR, as far as I'm concerned. It's not real. And I don't even think ayahuasca does anything. What is it? You're drinking shit tea or something? What is that?
That I was entering another reality. Also, the first, even though I don't know the level of real in this, the first recorded COVID case was like the same weekend. It was the day after this. I almost feel like I entered another reality. And the next day I was.
What does he say? Wait, what does that have to do with that?
Doing an event, and this girl had hooked up with me.
Okay, so I told you when I got terminated, it was around when all the Kahuna fire stuff started. So that's adding up. But the part where he's saying he wasn't with the mother of his child, that's bullshit.
Twice. She instigated, especially the second one.
Is he now bragging that she wanted it so bad? She's asking for it?
And I went back to the event after that. And that night after we hooked up, my body had to relive. This is so gross.
No, I don't want to know about that. You don't have to tell us. Let's just get to the Me Too part.
You probably don't want to hear this, but
I don't. I don't want to hear it. Whatever your body had to redo, I don't want to know.
After we hooked up, my body had to relive. My body had, this is so gross. You probably don't want to hear
It
this.
is disgusting because all I'm imagining is your mealy little mouth. It's just moving around, vibrate. It's like mealworms. You know, you ever see a big pile of mealworms?
But
I don't even know what part of anyone's body your mouth is. I don't even think it's involved. I'm imagining it floating above everything else, just your mouth detaching from the rest of reality in an ayahuasca style trip.
body had the biggest release I've ever had
Okay.
in my life. And I went back to go do my event.
So is he just telling us about how big he coomed? Is that what just happened? He's telling us about a big scrum he did?
And I was like, I'm overwhelmed. And I felt like I am completely depleted. I am not resourced. I'm exhausted. And I had some teammates that I said, I am too exhausted to go.
Hey, team, I can't hold space right now. I have no jizz inside me. Okay? Can somebody go out there and tell all the old grandmas who want to come back here and have me hold space for them that I've already exploded all over my triangulation?
On stage on day 5. And they were like, but there's people here. These people paid. And I needed someone to go, it's okay. And one woman put her.
They're right. All those people paid and they're there and they pay a lot to be there. I'm sorry, I can't come out right now. I come too hard. So I cannot do the show now. One of the biggest comes.
You need to go rest. And she put her hand, and I noticed the me that was trying to hold up the event. I go, I need to do the event though. And she goes, no, and then the other team members were like, he needs to do the event. And they didn't care about what I was saying I needed. It was just about the freaking audience. And I was like, is there anything for me here? And so she took me to her hotel room, totally, platonic, and had me like,
I swear. Why does it feel like anytime a guy says platonic, he's lying?
Down, and I cried for like 6 hours. And then for 3 months, the girl that wanted me to move to Florida and I talked every single night. And we had a fun connection, and it was confusing because I was a dad and I was having a very difficult time managing the relationship with Christy as co-parents, and we were back and forth.
Okay.
We were never married, by the way.
We were never married.
People say his wife. I've never been married in my life.
Well, now we know why. Now we know why, because she would have taken everything if you had been, because you're a secret Me Too guy, because you think you're God. You think you're better than Robin Williams. You think you're better than everybody. Of course you didn't get married. You knew you were always doing dalliances.
And this woman and I talked nightly and laughed and had a somewhat kind of connection, but I wasn't sure. So I was honest about that. And then one day I did a flow group. I used to do an event called a flow group.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course. A flow group. Yeah, we all know what a flow group. You guys are used to your flow group. Yeah, listen, I had a flow group actually 2 days ago. I met up with my flow group and we flowed.
And flow group was where I worked with 4 people. And there was another speaker that was a friend in my life.
Jesus Christ, what are the odds? So 1 out of 3 people, it was a friend of yours, and they were a speaker too. It's a group of 4. One of those is you. One of them's your friend. All right.
And good. The other speaker, I had this part of me that felt he wasn't quite safe. I felt there was some agenda in him. He would ask me questions like, what's that event pay? And all these different things. And he would talk crap about every other.
So you wanted to know if you were going to pay him or if you're going to stiff him, which, by the way, part of the accusations that came out during this Me Too stuff is that he was not paying employees and shit. Turns out there's a lot of interns, a lot of unpaid interns.
Other speaker. And in my desire to stay his friend, I joined him in that too. And I apologize to any other speaker I talked about because I love other speakers. And I
love holding space for them. And I love when they hold space for me. And we're holding space for each other and they're speaking and we're
felt
flowing.
Unsafe. And I heard from
unsafe. That is the equivalent to Mersh's weird. Oh, he's weird. Imagine Mersh saying something's unsafe. Jesse just felt like unsafe. So gay.
Other teammates that he was always telling them, come work for me and not Kyle. And I articulated that to the woman. And then I did this flow group, and that speaker, I couldn't put my hands on it.
But we all know you wanted to.
That speaker came to my little intimate flow group because I was still trying to keep a connection, but I heard my heart say this didn't align.
And then he showed up at my little public library.
And he came and he sat at the flow group.
Say flow group again. I dare you. I double dare you.
And I said, it's the girl that I've been kind of seeing long distance. I said, it's her birthday today. And he goes, yeah, I bought her a spa treatment. And I was thinking, oh, you know her? And
So Kyle got mad he was getting two-timed. Hey, you weren't with anyone. That wasn't your wife.
I would hear from other people that he was like friends with her and friends with them and trying to like triangulate and get these other people.
No. You're not triangulating. This dude, where did he get this word triangulate? What is happening inside his head? The longer I watch, the more he becomes a triangle.
And I communicated to him openly. I'm going through a thing where I feel unsafe about, like, I feel like you're
unsafe, triangulate, flow group. How about me too?
And it makes me feel triangulated and I don't.
Okay. That's. Does he mean targeted? I guess, yeah. He's a triangulated individual. He's being flow stalked.
Don't know that I feel safe. And his answer was, you're such a hero for bringing that up. But instead of owning it.
What?
Is there anything there? Just being like, yeah, I see why you're feeling that way. Not even saying I see. It was just like, it's just Kyle's issue. The end. There was no, I get it. That was true. I see that. And I was even trying to do the work. And I said, maybe it comes from, and I don't want to call anyone out, but the closest person in my life, a man in my life that was very close to me.
Okay.
I said, often, this is true. When I broke up with someone, I felt like he would contact them. And I feel like people triangulate almost around.
All right. If you triangulate me one more time, I swear to God, motherfucker, triangulate me. I swear to God. One more time. Let's do it. Triangulate me. Almost. I can't. Is he talking about his brother right now, by the way? He's saying a man that was the closest in his life, and he's clearly saying past tense because obviously Pod Awful ruined that relationship.
People triangulate almost around their bond of their hate for me. It's almost like if you let go of someone, they can't just go. They have to connect.
Triangulate man
to other people. And I communicated that to him. And that was a mistake. And it was me trying to own my shit, but I communicated that to him. And then out of nowhere, the woman writes me and goes, like a couple days later after talking to him, I want all my money back for everything I've done. You're an abuser. And all I felt was the kid who was scared to death kick in and me not know what to do. And I went through this thing where I'm in between. Like I tried really hard to, can you tell me what's wrong? Can you heal this with me? Can you tell me what I did? No, do not talk to me. Iced, gone. So I got scared because I don't remember if I already told you about the stalker.
Oh, okay. So now women have stalkers. All right. Men do not have stalkers. It's a female only sort of scenario, having a stalker. That's something Mersh would say. That's something a lot of goons would say, is that, yo, you're a stalker. You don't have a stalker. I don't care what the situation is. You're a guy.
Did I tell you about the stalker?
But here he is. Here he is making himself the victim again. Who's the victim? Not the ladies. Kyle, did I already tell you about the fact that I was actually killed? I can't remember if I told you this or not. I'm dead. I was murdered. I was murdered at the hands of actually all of these women. Anybody who said anything bad about me. I don't know if I already told you about this. Did I tell you about the woman who claimed this stole my car and drove over my body with it, and I'm a ghost now? Has this been brought up yet, or?
Sorry, I can't remember.
We'll triangulate your memory on it.
So I had told the woman that there was a stalker. I had a stalker in my life. And the stalker, maybe before that, a year before.
Kyle Cease's comment on this video has triangulation in it.
Supposed to have my kid.
To be kidding me. It was primarily on gaslighting and mentioned borderline personality disorder. And she and I spoke about BPD and triangulation privately. What? How is this? Is this a new term that these people are using specifically?
So she moved from Texas to LA and stayed in a hotel. And when Christy and I were together and trying to work everything out, sent me a video every day of our future kids, like that she's channeling her future kids. And she'd sit there and cry. Like she believed that I sent mentally into her head that I'm supposed to be the dad of her kids. And she stayed in a hotel for a freaking year and sent us these Kathy Bates and Misery-esque videos saying to me, like, our son wants to be named Elliot. I was driving and I passed Elliott Avenue and I felt this kick in my womb. And
you kept fucking her, right? So you fucked her. This is the woman, by the way, if he's talking about the one that like really released all this info, she also claims that she is an alcoholic, right? But she had been sober for quite some time. And while they were fucking, Kyle encouraged her to drink, you know, loosen her up so she wouldn't think too hard about it. Maybe she won't think about being Me Too'd too much, which is a crazy thing to do. And, like, Kyle knew she was an alcoholic, and he encouraged her to, like, just drink, baby, just hang loose. What's one drink gonna hurt?
We had to move to a gated community.
Oh. The horror. I mean, how did we even get over the gate?
And it was so scary.
Scary Boberry.
Because when the Me Too movement came out and they said, believe all women, I was like, what about this one? Because this woman could just make up anything and it'll just be the truth to the public. And then I got to figure out how to get out of it.
Okay, so classic, the thing you're not allowed to say about the Me Too movement, right? Let's throw Kyle to the side here for a second. Let's see what he said back in October of 2017. Throw it up on the big board here. The Me Too movement is a calling to all of us, especially men. This movement touches me because it's women telling boys to grow up. This is not only protection for women, it is for men, children, animals, and the planet. A new bar has been raised, and I'm excited to move into it. Yeah, you're moving there permanently, buddy. 2017, wait till you see 2018, Kyle. Thank you to everyone who shared your pain. I'm committed for life to always being my best and continually reassessing however I can as I continue. Your courage is changing the world, and for the first time, I actually hear you.
I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
2.6 thousand likes. And you know what he says in this? He says it's horrifying and he's scared of the Me Too movement. It's all in here. Boy, that sounds a lot different than what we've been hearing from Kyle in this. Let's just roll back that beautiful bean footage for a second here.
And it was so scary. And I had communicated that to the woman later, how scary that was, because when the Me Too movement came out and they said, believe all women, I was like, what about this one?
Oh, is that what happened? Your words a second ago, I'm not sure that lines up. I thought you were happy to be here in the moment for women. And by the way, H2BH, of course.
Because this woman could just make up anything.
Oh, oopsie daisy. What's that? My past actions coming to catch up with me? The consequences never being the same?
And it'll just be the truth to the public. And then I got to figure out how to get out of it. And I told her that. And I know that was used against me and orchestrated against me, that I was scared about that. And then people that had hit on me. Good point, Kathy G. Deep breath. Then people who had
So people in his chat room were like, yo, dog, take it easy. This is looking a little I don't know, man. You're acting a little, I hate to say this, bipolar, borderline. You're kind of on the border of acting manic here.
hit on me started claiming they were victims. People that I didn't even know. People that sent us videos of themselves Kalegoing, which if you're new here means envisioning out loud that they slept with me, that they dated me, and then they all
Co-Legoing? What?
formed a group as victims, even
That's worse than triangulating.
though most of them I never met, and said that they are a victim of me.
I mean, now, that's a big claim. There were a lot of ladies saying this happened to me too. There was truly a Me Too movement around Kyle. There were all these women saying, yes, I went to the event in this year, and this happened this year, and this happened. He's saying none of that happened. Not even a misconstrue. He's never met these women. Most of the women in his groups who know who he is and stuff, he's met. They go to he has retreats in log cabins out in the woods and stuff.
So the girl says, I want all my money back. And I was doing this event with 50 people in the morning.
See? Probably in a fucking cabin. In fact, I know it is because I think I know what he's about to talk about. And this was like the worst day of his life where everyone starts quitting on him.
Morning, I had 50 people and I was trying to do the stuff. And I also liked the girl. So at times when we're meditating, I texted her love and all these different things and was feeling this strong bond with her.
Together in
And then these letters.
Whoa. Wow, that was crazy. He really is talking to God. He's channeling the greats. He is the great.
Start coming in from the people she's telling what a victim she was to me.
He just triangulated a spirit.
Mad about my sexual misconduct. Here's my sexual misconduct. Me going, are you sure you want to? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Is that okay? Are you
Agreed. 100. At least you admit that's misconduct. That is creepy and gross. So yeah.
sure? Now it's like, you need to text me you're okay with this. Now it's like, okay, you got to sign a release.
So now, okay, the claims become wilder. Now he's like a consent villain. He's so consensual that it's upsetting.
So now I'm just like on these hikes and going inward more and more and more.
Whoa, wow. Racist. Why do you keep saying that? You're going inward more and more.
So now I'm just like on these hikes and going inward more and more and more.
Okay, inward this, inward that. I just saw an inward on a hike. You ever seen an inward on a hike? I'm like, inward? No way.
And then I get this letter
Racist.
from her that is so full of it on how I was a predator on her and all this shit.
So full. Ooh, he's cursing. He's first time cursing. Baby curses. He is a little kid.
I can't believe I'm telling you all this.
Nobody's making you. It's been 3 years. I guess I'm making you. I guess it is me. I can't say that. I'm the guy. It's me.
Demanding all this money. I was so
Demanding all this. So his claim is she's trying to get paid. Did that happen?
scared. I went to an attorney.
Okay, and did they immediately say, oh, this is extortion, this is blackmail, don't pay it? You didn't pay it, right? Because if you paid it, that would be bad.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure out the right thing.
Oh, oops. So he paid her hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep quiet? Is that what I'm the...
And my response was, I heard that the highest I knew was the universe going, just let it go. Just give her all the money back. Even though it's unseen, give it to her. Just give it to her.
This is the dude who had the foresight to not get married to his baby mama, but he's giving hundreds of thousands to a girl to just shut her up. You're giving that amount of money to a lady. Not only did sex creep stuff happen, you full on retarded her.
Like, let go. You're God. You're an infinite being. Just let go. And so we sent her and we said, we're sending you the check. And she wrote,
Who's we? Who's the we? Because it's not your fake wife with you, right?
great. Do you know when it comes in? And the attorney said, it'll be in Wednesday. So I'm sitting here going, maybe this will let it go and it'll just heal itself. And then over the weekend, she posts something like, when your entire business is built on lies, it just takes one swoop of wind to tell the truth or whatever. And she goes, and I'm done holding my breath. And all my body was going is,
shit. I gave her all the money and she's still gonna talk.
I'm about to be falsely Me Too'd.
And it was in that moment I knew I was about to be falsely Me Too'd.
And I was so scared.
Well, that sounds like a scary Bo Berry situation to be in. I'd hate to be in.
I was shocked. I can't believe I'm telling you all this.
Wow. So you're telling on yourself. That's a very, you keep saying that over and over again. Why can't you believe that? Isn't this something, wouldn't this be getting this off your chest? Wouldn't this be relieving? Wouldn't this be like a month-long relief? You released all that goop from inside the bowels of your body? Wouldn't this be nice to finally have it out there? Why would you keep saying, I can't believe I'm telling you all of this? Is it because you look bad? Is it because you look stupid?
So you know, this has been in my heart every single minute for the last 3 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Thank you. Woo! Wait, where is it? Woo! There we go.
Pot off a one. Pot off a one.
That's right. That's right.
They're cyberbullying me to death.
Every single minute of the past 3 years, and I helped.
When I went on stage last week, I was like, is someone going to call me an abuser or yell that out? And then
And we do need hecklers. We do need henchmen out there doing that.
I said to the universe, okay, if they do, I'm okay with it. And I got to this place, right? So I can't believe I'm like just saying this. This is all stuff you don't know.
Well, I mean, I know the true version. I guess I don't know your version.
So I called Rhythmia because I was really scared.
What is that?
And I was supposed to fly to Seattle to do a flow group and then whatever. And I decided to fly to Seattle. And that's when on the way there, I stood on the overpass and Mary just got on the phone and by listening saved my life. And I went to the parking garages at LAX and was like,
Mary saved your life twice when she hit all those channels with copyright strikes, huh?
like, is that high enough? And if I jumped off, I was so scared. I grabbed a suitcase.
I feel like he could jump off a curb and he's so soft he would die.
I forgot to fill it. And I was like, is that it? And I still tried to do a flow group. And
I thought he was going to say he tried to do a flip.
This was February 16th of 2020. I fly. This is crazy, this story. I fly to Seattle.
I believe
I tell
you.
a couple teammates, I almost killed myself and I can't do the event.
And they're like,
all I was hearing was, well, these people flew in and you need to. And I was like, I need to. And one teammate, I don't know the level she wants to say who it is. I can't tell, but she just grabbed a new phone for me and said, go to Rhythmia because I wanted to do ayahuasca.
Okay, I'm going to fuck me.
So I flew to Rhythmia. And I just let everything go, and it was so scary. So I fly to Rhythmia. By the way, everything I'm telling you, I swear on my life, is exactly what happened. On my end, at least.
Yeah.
I go to Rhythmia.
What is Rhythmia?
I'm sitting here trying to ayahuasca this away because I am just so scared that I'm about to have this bullshit post.
Yeah, I bet.
I go to Rhythmia.
Oh my God.
And I do
She take my money.
ayahuasca, and I do it on a huge, huge, huge level, and I just go insane. And it makes me say something that I would like to keep private now, because I don't know its truth. And I tried to tell someone close to me about what it said, and he just got mad at me and shamed me for what it said about past stuff with people from my past. I'd like to keep it private.
Yeah, Mike in chat says, does he not realize everyone has these thoughts? LOL. He thinks he's close to suicide because he looked at a building and thought, wonder if I'd die if I jump from there. Exactly.
Jerry at Rhythmia said, when you do ayahuasca,
Oh, there goes the lip again.
when you do ayahuasca,
Boring.
say out loud, merge me with my soul no matter what the cost. And on February 19th, 2020, I did a ton of ayahuasca. And then I went back to my room, and this guy goes, she posted.
There's a
This
guy
woman
in your
posted
room?
something that never became.
What do you mean this
nearly
guy
as big as
goes?
it
You went
was
back
in
to
my
your
heart,
room.
about how I manipulated her, which I didn't, and how I tricked her, which I didn't. The only thing that she had that was true was that she was a client also,
Which
and
is
that I did ask her to keep it quiet because I felt like I had teammates I couldn't open up to.
well, that is
And
the
narrative
definition
on that
of a
was
Me
he knew it
Too.
was wrong. I don't believe it was wrong. I didn't sign a Hippocratic.
We know you don't believe it was wrong. That's the problem. That's why you're being Me Too. We know you think you were in the right there, Vince Champ.
I felt like I had teammates I couldn't open up to. And the narrative on that was he knew it was wrong. I don't believe it was wrong. I didn't sign a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah, you didn't make a pledge to do no harm.
I will tell you now. I will tell you now, if I were to ever date someone that I ever met at any of my events, I would have them sign a release that they're.
So he's still thinking about doing it. He didn't even learn his lesson and he wants them to sign a release. It's not a hidden camera prank show, dude. Sign a release.
Someone that I ever met at any of my events, I would have them sign a release that they're no longer a client. That's a thing I learned. I see where the confusion
I didn't learn where I did anything wrong. I see where I should have been legally protecting myself, obviously.
is. I own that. I truly didn't understand that then.
He's done nothing wrong. It's everyone else's fault. Everyone else is lying. He's a complete victim. He was high. I was on ayahuasca, Judge.
And I was actually even with her that night was because I'd been opening to other people about, can I just spend time with you and debrief after each night? And they would bring too many other people that I felt like I had to be there for, and I never felt like I could debrief.
You had no problem debriefing those women.
And the amount of narratives that were spun about my relationship with her were out of this world. Let me give you another one, because all of this is so necessary. And I hope this, because we're entering a new world where we're going to heal all this. One is that I talked her back into her alcoholism.
Okay, I told you guys about that. Now, all right, I'd love to hear what his excuse for this one is.
Now, when she was with me, as far as I remember, she wasn't even drinking, and I sure as hell didn't.
Oh, okay. His explanation? Nuh-uh.
Was a thing that one person said was they were feeling rigid and they felt this thing. And I said something that truly was true to me. Sometimes being anti-something can be an addiction too. And then in the time that I was hanging out with her long distance, she was feeling freer than ever. She was feeling vibrant and amazing and magical and awesome. It was after she accused me that she went dark and angry and weird.
Oh, weird?
Here's something I'll already offer. I know.
Don't you mean unsafe?
Her heart. I know her heart.
This is going to be, whatever that is followed up with, must be the craziest thing ever. I cannot wait to hear what follows. I know her heart. That is a lunatic thing to say about a woman who's accused you of R.
And I know that she regrets doing it. I know.
That is a bold claim, dude. That's crazy. Okay. You know that. He knows her better than she knows herself. He knows her inner child better because he was triangulating its triangle.
Know it. Maybe she'll say she doesn't, but I will offer.
He knows better than her. Maybe she'll say no, but I am convinced it's yes.
For right now, if she wants to reach out and actually heal this, I will not sue you. I will not use it against you in any
How could you do that? Of course you won't sue her. That would be bad for you.
way. But I know that her heart suffers because I know she was talked into this from the spiritual speaker. I know it because later when that happened, people that I didn't have relationships started writing letters. And one of them bragged to another teammate that that speaker ghost wrote it.
So you're saying ghosts are involved. So this truly is paranormal.
That speaker ghost wrote it.
It was that dang, Your Honor, it was that dang ghost. I told you. I done told you.
So the other speaker is ghostwriting letters, creating false attacks on me.
It's like
There was another
Dan Aykroyd's wet dream. A ghost did it.
woman that was at another event that totally grown up. She and I had I felt like a good connection.
Wait, totally grown up. Of
Came
course. You're adult. You're fucking 40 something.
Over to my place in her pajamas, hooked up with me. And then later I got a letter that I think
You were with Christy at the time, or no? You're kind of leaving that part
was ghostwritten by him, demanding 250 grand. I have all these texts from her trying so hard to sleep with me
Did you give her the 200?
and trying to do so much stuff. And I'm in this place where I'm like, should I?
Go, zoinks. Zoinks, like, hey, Scoob. Like, Kyle Cease is trying to bone us, man. Ruh-roh.
pay it to end the drama? Like, this is where I was. And the lawyer was like, this is my fear. The lawyer was like, don't. And I was like, then she'll make up more stuff. Like my fear was like, if that happens, they'll make up more stuff.
So he paid it. A ghost wrote it, and then Frankenstein came in and held her down for me.
So when this woman posted this, a person that I'm trying so hard because he's the closest person in my life, or was,
The brother
defended me. She posted this bullshit thing about how I manipulated her and didn't care, whatever. And he goes to bat for me. And then guess what? The spiritual speaker who didn't know this person called him and told him that for 4 hours, the night she posted, that I have borderline personality disorder.
Which is true. And I remember his brother telling me about this. So this part is kind of true. I mean, you know, not the Kyle positive parts, obviously, but yes. So that's amazing. So, and they're still not, the brothers still aren't back together. Pod Awful actually drove a wedge between him and his brother.
And then he called me and said, I'm not talking to you until you go and do work on your borderline personality disorder. And
so it was time for me to pay another therapist to say the opposite, that I'm cool and good and rich and handsome. And it's okay for me to rape.
I was so scared. I'm like, talk to me. He goes, nope, I won't. And I'm like trying to reach out to him. And I finally thought maybe I do. And I cried about it. And I had a bunch of people around me going, you are the F up here. You are.
Uh-huh.
And so I believed them.
Good. Yes, they were right.
I was like, maybe I do have borderline personality disorder. So I went to go to rehab, and I went to a suicide ward. And I had psychiatrists telling me, you don't.
Oopsie. Did you see it? They told me I don't.
Telling me, you don't.
Ready for it? Do you or do you not? Guap. Okay, yeah, so he was lying.
You don't. Then the spiritual speaker called my publisher, got them to drop me, called another speaker who I did a podcast, got them to drop my podcast with them, and used the narrative of he abuses all these women. And most of the women I've never even met.
Most of them. Okay, so before it was all of them, now it's most.
But I also had the dilemma of every time I talk about it, it brings more up. Like if I bring up, hey, I didn't even meet those women, then you guys all look that old thing up and leave, right? And that was my fear. And now I'm just like, I know the level that I should own this, right? So at one level, this just went away, which is why I can't believe I'm just telling you all this. Like, in other words, after she posted this thing, one of the things I tried to do was a freaking Wednesday night call. And let me tell you how weird it was, because I was just a child being stabbed and people.
You are old.
People were telling me, you need to honor her. Don't tell your side because
you have a child. This dude's got a dog. She's right there in the background.
It's blaming the victim. You need to whatever. Oh my God. And I just, out of terror, tried really hard to own whatever while also not losing my business and trying to figure out what to do. So the video is just for AEP. Then I learn that a dude has ripped it off of AEP. I later learn. I
don't know what that might be his like paywall thing. I don't know what he's talking about there. A dude's ripped it off. I'm not the dude who ripped it off. He's talking about a different person. Somebody else like took the video and uploaded it somewhere. I don't remember how I got my hands on it, but it wasn't me.
That a dude has ripped it off of AEP. I later learn that the dude that ripped it off, this is just a side note because we're bringing shit up. Let's bring all of it. The dude that ripped it off, in other words, he recorded the screen. This was private for AEP. That guy has been arrested twice, I think, and convicted.
Oh, maybe it was me then. Okay, hang on a second.
For domestic violence.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Beats women.
Oh, he's a woman beater. Oh, you got him.
These people are projecting.
Are you me tooing that guy? That guy that you refuse to name? Why would you not name a dude who's been convicted for something like that?
Their shit on.
Why would you hide that? Why would you protect that guy? Unless he doesn't exist.
And me. He took it and gave it to a freaking podcast. There was a podcast that made up a thing. There was a thing that called.
Oh, wait. This is me. I'm Jesse. I'm the podcast guy. Hi. Call me Pod. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. We're talking about me now. Let's pay careful attention here. Let's make sure we don't miss anything.
Give it to a freaking podcast. There was a podcast that made up a thing. There was a thing that called this podcast. I don't want to say the name of it and give them views, but they were like,
hi.
They were a podcast.
Voldemort.
That the guy was an aspiring comedian or something.
Hey, let me just be clear. No one aspires to be this. Okay?
Something. Saw he knew who I was as
aspiring comedian. And I know why he's saying that. I don't know if he understands why he's saying it, but remember, we ran into Kyle before this Me Too stuff. Kyle saw Pod Awful before the Me Too stuff when we were just making fun of him for being a failed comedian turned guru. So he's saying that to put me, that's a hierarchy thing. Like, no, I'm a real stand-up. You're an aspire. I've never aspired to be a stand-up ever.
Comedian saw what I was doing and literally created his audience would do a hit on me.
Okay. What the fuck? Is that an edit? Did he say more? There hasn't been an edit anywhere else in this, has there?
Saw what I was doing and
wasn't this a live stream?
Literally created his audience would do a hit on me.
Look at that. That's an edit. So he said more about me and has removed it. I need to see what this missing footage is. Does this live stream still exist somewhere? Do we have to pay his paywall to see that? There is something in here that was... I haven't seen that happen during any of the rest of this. Specifically, the Pod Awful part has bits excised from
saw what I was doing and literally...
I got triangulated.
Created his audience would do a hit on me.
And we did do hits, so he's right about that.
He had his audience orchestrate.
Mm-hmm. My henchman.
He had his audience orchestrate false things. People were writing, I went to Kyle's event and blah, blah, blah. I went to Kyle's event and all this bullshit. But
did we do? I mean, listen, I would do. I don't think I did that, but did I do that? Does anybody remember I did that? I don't think I did that.
Blah, blah, blah. I went to Kyle's event and all this bullshit.
We wouldn't have. I feel like that's something we might have done back when we were just making fun of his events. Doesn't seem too Me Too related. I don't remember doing that.
But they all together decided to collectively do that. So he took the video and then tried really hard to get his audience to share it. So a bunch of people.
Yeah. Angie says, I don't think we did anything like that. I don't either. That doesn't seem, I don't know. That doesn't comport with my memory, but it probably did happen entirely. But I want to know what happened. Where is the missing footage? I want to know what he said in the missing footage. That's crazy to me. There hasn't been a single other edit in this whole thing.
Posted my apology video that was totally screwed up because I really didn't know what was going on yet.
The video Kyle Cease does not want you to see. So he's talking about it. Now, this is how you know we're dealing with a guilty man, a guilty conscience. Kyle has forcibly removed these videos from the internet, as many of them as he could find before doing this. Now he's acting like he's willing to tell you, hey, listen, it was just, I didn't know what was going on. Or you knew what was going on. It had been a week. You'd had plenty of time to think about it. You're sitting there holding yourself. You tried to get the video removed from the internet, by the way, back then too. So you knew then, you thought you could apologize your way out of a Me Too. You thought that maybe you could use the power of gab, you know? This is what you think your job is, your best talent, your best gift is, and you thought you'd talk your way out of these women feeling violated by you. But the only way you can do that is by hiding what Pod Awful put out there. And now here you are, years later, in a coordinated, triangulated strike effort, you take down these videos. Well, why not just show people the video? Why don't you commentate over that video? Why would that be a problem? And it shouldn't be. There's no reason for that to be a problem.
And then tried really hard to get his audience to share it. So a bunch of people posted my apology video that was totally screwed.
You see he's going, his nose is
screwed up because I really didn't know what was going on yet. And I want you to know this, like a ton of people posted this old Kyle apology video, and it was me and my biggest trauma trying as hard as I could to work through everything.
We got to start reposting it. So you want us to know that. Okay, it's just you working through your trauma. Then leave it up. There's nothing to hide. Look at it. Wow, that took it out of. My God. Pod Awful. Fuck, I want to know what he edited out. That could potentially be golden footage. Is there a single other edit in this whole thing?
And I struck the video on some of the people, and then the narrative was he's doing an unfair copyright strike. It's fair.
Copyright, an unfair copyright strike? Ghost?
Fair use. No, it wasn't. You ripped it off of my site.
I didn't. You just said a dude who beats his wife did. I didn't rip anything. Listen, once it's out there, I mean, I'm a victim of this too. Once something's out there, what can you do? You can try to take it down, but here's the thing. When he took it down on everyone else's channel, sure, they're just re-uploading the video wholesale. That's maybe okay on his side. When he did it to me, I was doing commentary just like this over the video. It was 100% fair use. There is no excuse.
And I, in the last 3 years, have done everything I could to find the truthiest truth in this.
Does he not even realize what he's saying? The truthiest truth? That's like a Stephen Colbert is the truthiness, right? That means the opposite of true. That means a gut feeling that probably is false. He's been finding the truthiest. Okay.
And in the old days, it was, I don't want it to be like, I literally was like, I don't want to be seen as some abuser that I'm not. But at the same time, as it kept going, I would hear this higher me that goes, let the video sit there. Let the video that was illegally downloaded and everything sit there.
Illegally downloaded? That's a interesting way of describing.
Let that come out. Let that come out. This started to be the thing. It used to be like, how far is it up the YouTube channel? And then I kept going and going and going. And then eventually it was like, let it be there. Let that darkness be there. Let people think that about you. And I had a person that I was a friends with, that I had a connection with not too long ago, just as friends. And they were like, they said to me, like, they started blocking me. And they said to me, like, I can't talk to you because I looked that up. And I at first was like, don't you want to hear my side? Don't you want to hear? And then just like, I heard God be like, just trust me on this. And the universe will do. I mean, when you go up, you will not believe the people that grab onto you, that you are giving to, that are taking from you, that don't own any of their shit. It is unbelievable.
So now he's the
I'll
same
tell you,
as
this
this
has
person.
been my life. It's unbelievable.
They lied about that person. So he's kind of the same guy as the teal lady, Swan.
So I lost my publisher. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people who were some of the closest people in my life. And it was right. Like the universe, I said to it, merge me with my soul no matter what the cost. And a bunch of people got together and left me because they didn't want to look at their shit too or really hear what happened. And guess what happened a week later? COVID started. From my perspective, I'm like, did I do this? I said, merge me with my soul no matter what the cost. All these people collectively leave.
Wait a second. Years and years ago, before anybody was even talking about Kahuna virus, I did a whole episode trying to figure out which goon started it. I knew it had to be a goon. And of course, I picked all the Chinese ones. Ching Ching Chong, Wang, Ryan Katsu Rivera. It turns out this whole time, it was fucking Kyle Cease who started coronavirus. And he's admitting it. And he didn't even have to eat bat soup to do it. I mean, sorry, kind of a letdown. I really wish it was like a Chinese guy, to be honest. Mostly I just wanted it to be a Chinese guy. Kyle fucking Cease started coronavirus. That's a crazy one.
And then this bizarre thing happens where the whole world shuts down and goes inward for years.
Goes inward. Hell yeah, brother.
That no one's ever seen
Return to Evropa.
before. And I was like losing gigs because I'm being accused of this shit. And also the world goes shut down anyway. Like I was going to do a spiritual center in Denver. And then they canceled on me because of the thing. But then COVID came out and it was like canceled everything. And I was like, from my perspective, like life became this bizarre, weird thing. I'm not
From my perspective, it's the Jedi who are evil.
egoically saying I created this, but I do feel it being like the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah, no, that does sound weird that you think that.
And again, to any of the people involved, I'm sorry and I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. He's forgiving them. He's forgiving the victims. You know what? Maybe Kyle rules, actually. That's kind of hilarious and cool to do. Maybe he's the best.
This doesn't have to be a big thing.
Oh, okay, great. So no hard feelings? You and me, no hard feelings? I'm allowed to keep the videos up? We don't have to make this a whole big to-do?
To anyone that's ever claimed any type of thing that I did wrong to them, I apologize with all my heart. I promise you, you did stuff to me too, but that's...
Oh my God. That's it. That is, I mean, what? I don't know if you keep playing it after that. He just Me Too'd everyone else. He just Me Too'd the victims. He Me Too'd the audience. He just said it happened to me too. You can't say that.
Claimed any type of thing that I did wrong to them, I apologize.
That is
with all my heart.
crazy.
I promise you, you did stuff to me too. But that's
I mean, dude, this is the worst. This is a master class on what not to do in an apology video or whatever this is. I thought the last one was bad. This one is so much worse. It's crazy.
you are welcome to apologize if you need to, or you're welcome to forgive, but it's actually none of my business what you do. Your stuff you did to me is for my healing. And this is how I heal it. I have been hiking and listening like you wouldn't believe. I have been so passionate about getting to the truth of this and not just defending from fear. And I for the first 2 years had a ton of, what if that everything was, what if that person finds out and thinks I'm a bad person? And then I would have people in my life that knew my heart. And then I had people in my life that looked at my circumstances. And I was also blown away by how people only saw the circumstances of even what wasn't true, but they thought was the bad thing about me. When at the same time, we're creating events to stop child trafficking. Am I an abuser?
He said, somebody in the chat says, I'm sorry you made me do this to you. That's, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Or am I ending the abusers? Right? And I'm not using that as an excuse. He now he can say he's not bad because I already can hear, he's just using that he's rescuing the kids. I'm just saying I'm here in contribution, and I will be at the beacon of the highest light I have. And then after that event, there will be even more light.
And this dude freed the slaves, so you got to kind of trust him on this.
But yeah, if the byproduct of that is now every event I do rescues more children from child trafficking, you better believe I'll do it.
What? I don't think that's what's happening.
So I also believe I'm much more of contribution to the world than bad.
Yes, sentence, words.
And I believe many of the people that gave me shit have a great opportunity to heal with me, to heal internally, to heal with God, and forgive themselves, because I forgive you. And I'm sorry.
I reject you. Thank you.
I feel like I just gave birth, which any woman can be very mad at me for saying that, because I'm sure it's way worse than that. But this baby's been in.
He just said he's sure it's way worse than that. What he just said technically implies that what he went through is worse than giving birth.
Here for 45 years.
That's awesome.
It was really showing up 3 years ago. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I'm forgetting. I love everyone involved because this is a movie. The people in your life you think of are enemies. The people in your life that you think of that are enemies are you trying to get out of you what you don't see.
Oh, he's pursing his anal lips. You ever seen a butt
I
try
know
to
more
give
stuff
you a
will come up
kiss?
that I'm forgetting. But this is what I got right now. That's what it wants. The closest person to me later went on that guy's podcast.
I thought we were done on me. That's great. Okay, shout out Joe.
I'm a fag.
The closest person to me later went on that guy's podcast to try to crap on me.
It's a great one. Go check it out. Pizza Fund only. Sorry.